I really like this photo. Here is Ancelotti with Vinicius, with Neymar, with Rafinha. Now it's time for Brazil to debut in this World Cup in what will be the best match of this group stage. For me, Brazil versus Morocco, watch out, watch out. Well, we'll see, but I like seeing Carleto like this with a wonderful opportunity ahead of him, being able to coach the Brazilian national team in a World Cup. Although, well, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. But I think that if you ask me, among the top four favorites is Brazil, man, because of their history, their players, the coach they have, and so on. They're favorites, but I don't think they're in the top four. Share your thoughts in the comments. But anyway, well, this is just the start of a video where we're going to talk about a lot of things, starting with what happened with Negreira yesterday, which has generated a lot of comments. And for me, I find it really funny that from the so-called enlightened Narnia, because there's a deep, terrible Narnia, the ones who call it fake news and all that, well, you know how they are, but then there's also an enlightened Narnia, right? Ramon Besa, he speaks on El Larguero. This man is a journalist at El País. He's been working at SCR for a long time. And also on El Larguero, they do this with, oh, what's his name? Right, with Manuel Jabois. Yes, I even have it here. So it's Barcelona, Real Madrid. So yesterday they were talking about this, and Ramon Besa goes and says the following about the Negreira case.
First, I was surprised because also...
One thing, wait, I don't have the volume set right here to listen to it myself. Also, one thing, the news was that the federation covered up the scandal, which should have caused an uproar. It should have been enough to, well, stop the whole country. Well, nothing happened. It was talked about a little, and that's it anyway. And now they're focusing more on Barca's conciliation claim against Florentino Perez for now. Manuel Jaboy said it's a very funny thing that it would be incredible if the first person convicted in the Barcelona Negreira case was Florentino Perez. By the way, there's talk. It opens up, I'm really stumbling over my words today. It opens up a very striking possibility. If they end up going to trial and, hey, Florentino is not going to back down, we already know this, not a chance. And he's absolutely right to do so, because he can't back down if he told the truth at the press conference about Barcelona and Negreira. But now let's talk about the possibility of a trial. I mean, another trial that could be opened in this regard. But like I said, they're only talking about that, just about Florentino, right? The other stuff has gone almost unnoticed. It's unbelievable, but I hope it doesn't go unnoticed by UEFA and FIFA, that they see what the Spanish Football Federation did, unless these two organizations want to cover up what the federation did, which can't be ruled out. Well, in any case, this is what Ramon Besa said about Florentino and the 7 leagues that were stolen from him.
Well, first, I was surprised by the possessive sense that Florentino Perez has about Madrid. I mean, they stole them from me. He doesn't say they stole them from Madrid. They stole them from him. That's to begin with. It seemed to me like quite a consideration kind of to...
What nonsense, nonsense. I mean, anyway, now to say they haven't stolen them from me, well, yes, damn, it's just a way of speaking. Well, of course, as a Madrid fan, I could say the same. They've stolen them from me, or they've stolen them from us, right?
Understand who Florentino Perez is. I mean, that's to start with. Second, since 2018, as far as I know, Barca no longer pays referees. And third, which I find so...
also questionable for that reason, because those referees who were influenced by a system in which a club was paying millions to the boss, many of them are still around. And others who, on top of that, climbed the ranks in the refereeing establishment precisely because they were getting coaching from Negreira's son, which was something that positioned you very well in that corrupt structure.
It's understandable or so reasonable that Florentino Perez and other presidents of other clubs wanted to be known what happened with the Negreira case. I think everyone has the right to try to clarify the facts. Also, in asking Infantino, I think he said he would present a report of, I don't know how many pages, I don't know if hundreds, 500, yes. For me, mentioning the same referees from back then is unnecessary. They're the ones who make Madrid, not damn.
But it's true, they're the same ones. There are many from that time.
Or they don't win the leagues, well, it's the same thing. We'll see. I think the Conciliation Act is to see if there's any possibility of trying to resolve the matter. It doesn't end in a criminal complaint from the Azulgrana side, but what about Madrid? We'll see if they, aside from the justice system, whatever the judge decides, So is UEFA also going to intervene, as it seemed Florentino Perez inferred after talking with Infantino? Or, well, I don't know if it was by phone or in person, no. In any case, it's very stuck, and I think it's just as unquestionable that there is a Negreira case as it is unquestionable that claiming Madrid lost 7 leagues because of the Negreira case seems totally out of place to me. I mean, both things, that the Negreira case is clarified,
but also that it gets clarified, man, that it gets clarified. We're saying the same thing again. If the law hadn't let this case expire, Barca would have been sanctioned with relegation, and we'd have been talking about something else for the past 3 years, something else. UEFA wouldn't have invited Barca to the Champions League. The club would have gone under, which is the punishment they deserved for their actions. But it expired after 3 years, and they let it expire. As we've already mentioned, and as in the last video about that report from The Objective, that the Federation was hiding it, well, now we know. Let it be clarified, but what is there to clarify if they've already paid the referees second in command? It's not about 4 different presidents over 20 years, with the current one quadrupling the payments. It's not a matter of clarifying things. It's already been clarified, the payment was made, and something was done that you're not allowed to do. Administratively and in sports terms, it should be extended, but through criminal law, since Spain is a country that guarantees rights, that's why it's in court. We have to see if this is considered sports corruption as defined in the penal code. But it's corruption, I mean, please. See how it gets confusing? Saying to clarify when there's nothing to clarify.
Don't worry about Barcelona. The titles they've won, including the last 7 Florentino hasn't, were because of the referees. That's out of line to me.
All right, that's out of line, as Jesus Bengochea said about this tweet. Let's see. From the moment cheating happens, I don't care how it was done. I mean, the result of that, if Madrid won a league and a goal was disallowed for Barca on a certain day. No. From the moment cheating happens, when something is done that you can't do, that only that club did out of the 30-something clubs that were moving up and down between first and second division during all that time. If only one club does it and is doing something it shouldn't, that's already something else. It's cheating. So what's unquestionable is that when there's cheating, nothing else matters. There's been cheating. That's it. I don't care. There's been cheating. So it's like when you play cards or whatever with your friends and you have marked cards and you're cheating. Hey, you win some games, they win others, but you say, well, does it even matter that you beat me a few times? I was cheating. From this moment on, everything is invalid, just like what happened with Armstrong, damn it. That's how it is. Armstrong wouldn't have won the tours, or many of the tours he actually won, if he hadn't been doping, for sure, because he was a beast. He was incredible, that guy, but damn, he doped. All 7 stripped, gone. Of course, that's it. It's all the same thing. It's a misunderstanding that people have, and there are Real Madrid fans who are buying into this. No, well, I don't know if Morientes has said this. Morientes or maybe someone like Casillas. Well, let's see what happens there. Let him tell the court that's not the message. That's the one to share. That's not the message to put out. And this, honestly, among Madrid fans is unbelievable. Enrique Riquelme, in interviews about the Negreira issue, in the end got a bit more. Barca should be relegated. But you have to be firm from day one and explain it clearly. And this is also the job of, I don't know, his campaign manager, the people who advise these kinds of Real Madrid figures, whether they're running for elections or they're former players, etc. Especially so that later on, someone like Ramon Villavesa doesn't come along say this, and you end up saying, well, yes, no, that's not how it is. But anyway, what I was telling you before about this, look, Madridista Voice, our known for accurate insights, says nothing would make us happier than another trial to present more evidence of football corruption. FC Barcelona, without interference from their La Liga and Royal Spanish Football Federation accomplices who tried to shut the case down under false pretenses. And I add, for example, when Laporta goes or is going to bring something, or when Rosell goes and so on, with them asking 1 or 0 questions to the guy who goes there, right? Well, maybe now a trial has started against Florentino Perez for saying this, and they might have to eat their words, right? Like we discussed yesterday about Iñaki Aguilera and what Iñaki Angulo said, right? Hey, Barca sent him, I don't know in the end how it was, a summons, a complaint, or that they were going to sue him, and in the end, nothing happened there. Because, of course, here 2 + 2 is 4, and water gets you wet and the sky is blue. I mean, Barca paid the second in command of the referees for 20 years, 8.4 million for presidents. One of them quadrupled the payments. For what reasons? Vera, World Cups, and European Championships that weren't played? What are you saying? Unbelievable. But anyway, speaking of Florentino, he saw and greeted and hugged Pepe. Pepe at this Legends match. By the way, Pedro Leon was there. Mourinho returns to Real Madrid and Pedro Leon shows up. Suddenly Maketele is there too, Ivan Campo. It was really good. And that's it, a hug for Florentino. Of course, there's been a lot of talk about Pepe coming to Real Madrid to be part of Mourinho's coaching staff. Well, Pepe has said this about that matter. Let's listen.
And in recent days, your name has been strongly linked to joining Madrid. What can you tell us about all this?
No, I'm only interested because of what I see on social media. I think it's all just, as we say in Portugal, a boato. I don't know how you say it here. It's just a rumor, right? Rumor, that's it. It's just a rumor and nothing more. What I want most from Madrid is for Madrid to win again, and that's the most important thing.
You haven't talked to Mourinho, Pepe? No.
No. I think that all came from social media.
To be part of Mourinho's coaching staff, assistant.
No, I don't know. I just stopped playing 2 years ago. It's still too soon. The future, you never know, right, my friends?
Those are just social media rumors. I don't know. You never know. Well, we'll see. If you come, it should be to do something that's obviously worth it. When people started discussing this, I was glad because he's a good guy. Look, Bernardo's coming, Bernardo Silva's coming, and he's a man who looks like a leader, and he comes from a place where, well, you know, and he's already about to turn 32 years old. Anything that involves bringing adults into that locker room, whether it's to play, to manage, or to help the manager, I think it's fantastic. Fantastic. Hey, Pepe was signed in 2007 under the presidency of Ramon Calderón. But above all, because these moves were made by Mijatovic like no one else. I've always said that the best sporting director Real Madrid has ever had, maybe because he was the only one in the last 20 or 30 years, was Mijatovic. Marcelo Higuain. We enjoyed a very good Higuain for a few years. Gago didn't turn out as well, but still. Pepe, I mean, look, people came here. No.
Adebayor?
No, not Adebayor. Adebayor came with Florentino, of course. Let's see. Footballers like Chicharito, who came to fill a gap that Real Madrid had at some point due to injuries or because we were missing players in certain positions. That was Florentino for sure, but that signing policy is gone now. Maybe with Mourinho coming in, players might get injured and so on. And now in winter, we sign new players. I hope so, since the policy on signing players over 30 has changed. Anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. During those few years of Calderón's presidency, which was disastrous in many ways, but in sports terms, he had a guy like Mijatovic who signed good players. Pepe was signed. And listen, they were about to sign Carlos Tevez. We found out about this from this clip on ESPN. That's right. See what Carlos Tevez says and shares. We didn't know this.
Weren't you close there? I was close. When I was one with Real, the one who seems to want to take everyone to Real Madrid, and it looks like he wants to sign Bernardo Silva. There they ask and they get it. Yes, that's another league. Weren't you close there? I was close. When I was one with Real.
Were you close with Real? I was close. I was close when I moved from United to City, and I was close. Look, I knew.
Why, Carly? Why did it fall through? Because you didn't go. The story is incredible. About him, incredible. One day, it's a long story, right? Yeah, it's a really long story. It's a long story. I didn't know. But imagine if I had joined Real Madrid. I knew. United City, well, Boca, which one is first? Which old boy is first? Which is the Imperial? How close? We had the contract signed and we had to leave it with a notary. Just imagine. That's being very close. That's being too close. Yes. Imagine, I spoke with the president and he said, welcome to Real Madrid. He said you called it your lifelong dream. Did you say that while holding a glass? Didn't you even take a picture with the president? No, the president was there, but someone needed to take a picture in the park. He could have played for Real Madrid. The president was Florentino. Actually, it wasn't Florentino. No. It was, I don't know why I keep thinking Jimenez, but no. I don't know why I think that it was the father of a player, a center back. No, that was Sanz. No, but you had, it's another one. I know who it is now. He had to leave Calderón. That's it, Calderón. I traveled with Calderón recently, yes. I spoke with Calderón at 3 a.m. We were finished. I already had a place to live and everything. I was at home with Mijatovic. He was the sporting director. We were at home having dinner, closed the deal at 2 a.m. Then I remember there was a United match. And well, we couldn't say anything. And well, we signed the contract. We left it at the notary's office to present it.
No, they kicked Calderon out. The contract was gone. Everyone was gone.
Unbelievable, of course. Then Calderon got kicked out because of the assembly scandal, and that was it. It was worthless. Unbelievable. And then he went to City, right? And he was quite a character, this Tevez guy. And I think, damn, honestly, he had some good years as a footballer. He was Cristiano's teammate for a while there at United, right? Maybe this guy would have succeeded at Real Madrid. Anything, mentally speaking, even though he has matured. But hey, I think he would have fit in well, you know. We just found out about this now. He was signed. Incredible. Anyway, well, that's it. Thanks for being there. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel, comment, share, hype it up. It really helps. And that's it. See you in the next one. Bye.